that was our first date. And after that first date, I mean, we knew we wanted to hang out more. Like, it was inevitable. Like, there was no way we were not going to hang out. And keep in mind, this was us also knowing that I was moving to Iowa. Like, we knew that in the future, if we kept hanging out, that there was going to be some sort of heartbreak or disappointment or fall off, because we knew that I was moving out of the state.
And the thing is like, I didn't want to stay in Arizona for long. And the thing was, is like, I knew that there was something greater and something better out there for me. And I knew Zeke was moving to Iowa, but I didn't really have anywhere, like, no destination that was truly planned.
Yeah. So our first date ended, and we went on more dates. Our second date, we went to an Italian restaurant.
Oh yeah, I forgot my wallet.
He forgot his wallet on the second date. Remember, no! I had made this bitch pay for his popcorn and the drinks at the movie. The second day, he's like, well, fuck that shit. You gonna pay for everything now. He forgot his wallet.
I forgot it.
So I paid for everything. We got frozen yogurt. We had Italian. And then we went to see this little waterfall in the middle of Phoenix.
Oh, so romantic.
And that was the first place we got pictures of each other.
Yeah.
So the third date, you wanted to make it a little bit more romantic. And where did we go?
So one of the spots I really love going to in Arizona was like the airport. You just pay like $2 just to like sit there and watch airplanes. And it's very like intimate. So what I did was like, I grabbed a bunch of pillows and blankets, shoved them in the back of my car, and just opened up the back, and we just talked, and we literally just laid there and talked. Yeah. It was so
we were doing a lot of talking.
Yes.
Like 99% of our days were just talking. Like when we went to the movie was irrelevant. When we went to dinner and yogurt and the waterfall, like, the main activity was talking and get to know each other, and it was nice.
Mm-hmm. And also on our second date, he found out I could sing.
Oh my god! On the second date, I found out this man could sing. Boy, I got goosebumps when he sang "Ashes" for the first time by Celine Dion. I was like, okay. So we went on like 3 dates, but our fourth date was like, this was the date.
It was so monumental.
Yeah, this date was monumental. He had taken me to his quiet spot where he liked to go to the airport, watch the planes. So I wanted to take him to mine, which was about 35 minutes north of Phoenix. It was out in the middle of the desert, and you can see every star out there. So I did the same thing. I threw a bunch of blankets and pillows in the back of the car, and we got there early so we could see the sunset. And I remember he was laying on his back with his head kind of hanging out the trunk, and he just looked so beautiful. His eyes were so hazel, and like it was golden hour, and the sun was just shining off his face. And I remember I was like, "Can I take a couple pictures of you?" And he's like, "Sure." And I remember taking a couple pictures, and I was just like, "I love you."
And let me tell you, he looked at me. He was like, first of all, he just like was like, "Can I take a picture? Like, can I take a couple pictures of you? You look really beautiful right now." And I went, "Oh, hold on, what'd you just say?" What? And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was red. My stomach. I felt like I got just punched in my stomach. My diaphragm was about to bust because I was so overwhelmed with emotion. I was like, I don't know. My emotions were like, I want to say I love you, but I don't know what's going on. But I'm overwhelmed with love. And so when he looked at me and was like, I said, "I love you," and I went, "What?" And my face literally was like, "What? You just said I love you?" I was freaking out. Because me personally, I never say like I love you back like necessarily, just because I have a lot of questions, and just like in my past it's been something that's hard for me. But there was no second guessing, there was no stutter. I was like, "I love you too." And my body went crazy. I said, "Did I just say it?"
But you guys, you know how it feels when you start making like a genuine connection with somebody, and your heartstrings are just like, you know, they just want to overflow. Yes. And the only way you can, you know how to express it is to tell that person how much you care about them. So like the time frame and how long we've been talking or like we knew each other was like almost irrelevant. I think at that point it had been, I can't remember, almost 2 weeks.
Like almost 2 weeks.
And that was irrelevant to me because I was like, I care so much about this person. Like I feel like our heartstrings are already intertwining.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point also, like we hadn't done anything physical. Like there was no physical touching. There was nothing. All it was us getting to know each other. And that's how I knew like I really cared about this man.
And when he kissed me for the first time, literally the first time he kissed me, I felt like a princess. I'm pretty sure my legs stuck out. I was like, yes. I remember getting inside my car and I kind of gestured in sign language just because like me and my best friend's family's deaf. So whenever I say goodbye to them, I'm always like, love you. And I gestured
we did that as a family too. We said, I love you like this.
Yeah. So when I gestured to him, his face went, like it went,
so to be fair, he did say I love you first. Unless you're saying sign language isn't a language.
Okay, but...
Is it a language?
It is, of course.
So he said it first.
Yeah. I did it and I literally...
He falls fast. Falls fast.
I literally I remember doing it and I was like... And then I looked to myself, I was like, oh, does he know sign language? And then and then his face when he like cockeyed, he was like... And I was like, oh my god, I think he knows what it means. I freaked out. I was like, I'm pretty sure I texted you being like, ha ha ha. That was just me being like.
It's the audacity of saying he loves me after forgetting his wallet on the second date.
Oh, period.
Audacity. So those were our first 4 or 5 dates. And at this point then, he knew I was moving to Iowa. And we were just trying to soak up all the time we could with each other. We started going to the gym every day with each other. We would go up north and eat pie at the cafes. We would do anything and everything with each other because we knew that I was leaving. That was actually really hard though. I think it was harder for you. I was ready for something different, but I think it was harder for you knowing that like I was leaving this day where you weren't going to see me, you know?
Mm-hmm. It was just because like I felt so hard for this man, and of course like why is the one person I felt so hard for leaving? I just remember, him telling me, like, I am leaving, and of course, like, it never really hits you until it really does.
I remember telling my friends that I'm moving to Iowa, and I'm not dating anybody until the new year. On top of that, I also said that all Arizona men are off limits. I remember saying that to my friend Kyle and Stella. I was like, all Arizona friends are off limits. I'm not dating anybody from Arizona. And then honestly, a couple weeks later, this man walks up. I'm like, oh my God.
Waves a magic wand.
But before I moved, we wanted to take a road trip. So I think you got 4 or 5 days off in a row, and I got 4 or 5 days off in a row. And we decided to take a road trip to northern Arizona. We primarily stayed in Flagstaff the whole time. Yeah. But, I mean,
we ventured.
Yeah, it was kind of stay in Flagstaff, drive here, drive back, drive here, drive back. Yeah. We went to Antelope Canyon.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I can't even remember all the places we went to. We went bowling.
We went bowling and...
I whooped his ass.
Hey, the second time I beat you, but it's probably, like, he also played handicapped, but I'll take it.
So at this point, we had been going on dates for already a month. If somebody were to ask us if we were dating, I would have said, yes, we're dating, but, like, he wasn't my boyfriend. I really wanted to keep it traditional, where it was, like, you meet somebody, you get to know somebody, and then, like, the next step is boyfriends, then engaged, and then married. You know, I wanted to go in steps. So we had been going on dates and dating for a month, and I was like, okay, I feel like after a month, I really know Isaiah. I really care about Isaiah, and I want us to be, like, official. I want us to be boyfriends.
There was one night, I was like, what are we? And I asked him, I was like, so essentially, if someone were to ask me to go on a date, what do I say? You say, no. I was like, okay. And then I was like, so am I single or am I what? And he was like, you're dating, so you're not single, but he was like, and then I was like, so can I ask you to be my boyfriend or how's that? And he literally said, shut the, you can bleep this out, but shut the fuck up. I'm going to ask you eventually. And so I was like, okay.
I had already planned on how I was going to ask him to be my boyfriend, and I bought these earrings at a antique shop, and he liked any crazy ear. Look at
this.
So I bought him these like little opal earrings with feathers at the end, and I kept them in my little baggie because he wasn't gonna know I had them, and we ended up going up to Snowball, which is basically the ski resort in Flagstaff, but they had a big gondola that goes all the way up to the top of the mountain. And so we get in the gondola, I have my bag, and we sit down. I'm like, oh, let's take some pictures. And how I take pictures is I always set my phone up, and then I use my watch to snap the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, but he didn't know that I was actually recording. He just thought I was taking a picture. So I set my phone up, and I sat down. I'm like, okay, let's take a picture, acting like we're going to take a picture. And then before we started, I just look at him, and I just start telling him how I really feel about him and how much he means to me and how I want him to be my boyfriend. And I took out the earrings, and we don't remember what was outside the windows of the gondola because we had tears in our eyes the entire 15 minutes.
Yeah, I literally got on that gondola ride, and he was like setting it up as if he was like, oh, let's take a picture or something. And I was like, okay. And me just like sitting there like, you could probably like, I just am fixing my rings and stuff like that, just pretending to be cute or whatever. And all of a sudden, he sits down at an angle and just looks at me. He was like, hey, babe, we've been dating for a month now. And I said, oh, I feel so violated. He planned all of this, and I didn't even know. I told him, I was like, I'm pretty good at cracking mysteries and stuff. He was like, okay.
Not that one.
Not that one. And I just remember how happy that day, like that entire day was. I just remember everything he said, and I just cried so hard. I was like, I've never loved someone so much.
Yeah. And that's how Isaiah and I met. So thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to this point, thanks for hearing our story and for supporting us.
Thank you guys. It's so amazing. And you guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe, bitch.
And like it, ho.
Yeah.